Nowadays, The Amazing World of Gumball is one of the most loved and well-known animated shows ever, but to get to that point took a very long time. Going all the way back to the year 2007 when Ben Bouclet applied for a job at Cartoon Network Europe, which coincidentally had just launched their new studio based in London. His job being to help others within the studio pitch their shows to the network, but of course having this job would lead him to think of show ideas of his own. And so upon getting a chance to pitch his own show, Ben recycled all of his old characters he made from his previous job of making commercials, in which we also see Gumball's first ever designs, going from a black cat to a blue dog to finally the blue cat we all know, but then making the official pilot episode of the series, which initially was going to be called just Gumball and nothing more. The show's plot also originally being about rejected cartoon characters attending a remedial school together, or in other words, just Ben's attempt at making all of his failed pitches into actual good characters, which is interesting, but yeah, is almost entirely different from the Gumball we now know. We also see that Darwin's design was a bit different as well, actually being animated in 3D. The original concept of the show, of course, was rejected, but after changing it to be more of a family sitcom, Cartoon Network gave it the green light. And then finally, on May 3rd in 2011, season 1 of the now changed title, The Amazing World of Gumball, was aired to Cartoon Network. The series following the family known as the Wattersons, Richard, Nicole, Anais, Darwin, and of course, Gumball, all going on adventures in their town of Elmore. But what really made Gumball stand out and show it was different from other animated shows was the fact that it had so many diverse characters, all with different designs and styles, some being 2D, some being 3D, some being CGI, some being realistic, and some even being puppets. And on top of that, a lot of the backgrounds are also photorealistic, making it look like these characters are in the real world, really matching the vibe of the Cartoon Network bumpers they did where they had animated characters just walking through the real world. There's just something really cool about that sort of style which people really liked, and I honestly love myself. And Cartoon Network was so confident with the series' potential that they actually renewed it for a second season before the first even released. And it was good that they did, because this series was just an instant success, getting ratings within the millions and even winning the British Children's Academy Award for animation. And the success continued as season 2 premiered in 2012 as the series animation got better and Gumball and Darwin had some slight design changes, such as fading the shadow on Darwin's legs and rounding out both Gumball and Darwin's eyes, as well as the rest of the Watterson family. This season also winning the voice actor of Gumball at the time, Logan Grove, an Annie Award for the best voice acting in an animated production. But the voice actors of Gumball and Darwin would soon have to face the problem of their voices changing as they were growing up. And so in 2014, during the first episode of season 3, titled The Kids, Gumball's voice was changed to Jacob Hopkins and Darwin's voice was changed to Terrell Ransom Jr. Their designs also changing slightly, having even rounder eyes. The animation itself became significantly better, and we even started to see episodes do complete art style changes, which was super cool. But also, the Void storyline was introduced. In episode 12, Gumball and Darwin begin to feel like someone they know is missing, so they try to remember who she is, only to find out that she had been literally erased from existence as she was in this place called the Void, where unimportant things in the world just go. But yeah, now there was just this cool like meta thing about the show that their world just wasn't real, which was such a cool reveal, and the fact that it becomes really important later on just made this that much more impactful. And then in 2015, season 4 would release and become probably the most loved season yet, as it had some of the best episodes in the whole series, such as the Romantic, the Origins Part 1 and 2, the Fury, and the Disaster, which continued the story of Rob in the Void and even ended with a cliffhanger where Gumball gets trapped in the Void and sees the credits of the episode, really setting up the hype for the next season, and even so much that talks about a potential Gumball movie started to spread. And Ben Bouclet also said in an interview that same year that he would be interested in making one, bringing us to the year 2016 as season 5 of Gumball would release, while fans waited eagerly for any news on the movie. But shortly after, Ben would tweet that season 6 would actually be the last season he would work on, but then also saying that just because he's leaving after season 6 doesn't mean it's necessarily the end of the series. Gumball and Darwin's voices would then get switched out again, with Gumball being voiced by Nicholas Cantu and Darwin being voiced by Donald Hanson Jr. in the episode The Copycats. 2018 would then come around and the supposed last season Ben would work on, season 6, released, and Darwin would actually get another new voice being voiced by Christian J. Simon in the episode The Anybody. But besides that, the season would continue as normal, but then news came out that this wasn't wasn't just Ben's last season, but now just fully the last season, as well as that the movie script was being written, but that they don't know if it will actually be made just yet. The Void storyline would then pick up its pace and the final episode of Gumball would release, ending with a cliffhanger of Rob falling into the void after telling everyone that the end was coming, creating a conclusion to the series that left fans and even the creator of the show feeling unsatisfied. But on the other hand, creating a massive amount of hype and new expectation for the movie that now had to come. And as everyone eagerly waited for any form of news on what was to come next, we were still at least given some form of new Gumball content, with the miniseries called Darwin's Yearbook in 2019 and the Gumball Chronicles in 2020, both more or less being recycled clips from the show with a little bit of new content sprinkled in, which now in retrospect was a good way to keep fans on their toes, as the very next year HBO Max and Cartoon Network officially gave the green light on a new Gumball show, as well as the movie, finally giving fans exactly what they wanted and had been waiting for years. But then in 2022, things would take a turn for the worse, as Warner Bros. Would merge with Discovery and it would result in a bunch of shows from their lineup to be cancelled, and sadly Gumball would also find itself in the crossfire. And now it was seeming like this truly was going to be the end of the series for good. But then, after 3 years of straight radio silence, on May 3rd, 2025, Hulu posted a trailer on their YouTube channel called The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, saying that Gumball was finally coming back in no less than 2 months, shocking the entire fan base and instantly becoming one of the most hyped up cartoon releases I have ever seen. And then finally, the show would release and be everything fans could have ever asked for. It was wacky, it was weird, it was funny, it had incredible animated scenes and good songs. I could truly glaze this series for hours. And it isn't even over, as another 20 episodes are planned to drop at some point down the line, and are even confirmed to resolve the Void storyline by the creator, as well as that the movie is still coming. So the hype for this series is definitely not going anywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues even after the next 20 episodes and movie release. But I guess we'll just have to see. But with that said, that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one whenever that is.